Hey everyone, Lauren from A Girl and Her Wool here. It's been a while. It's good to see you all again through the camera lens of my phone. And I hope you're all doing well. It is 4th of July weekend, so happy 4th of July. Today is Friday the 3rd, and I have the day off from work, and actually my company gave us off on Monday as well. So I am at the very beginning of a 4-day weekend, and I'm so excited about it. Our co-host Fibonacci is here. He may come and go, we'll see. My husband is currently working around the house, so he may get distracted and kind of come and go. But anyway, today I am going to be talking about projects that I have been working on, and then I will also do some shop bits at the end. I'm no longer going to do separate shop update videos for reasons that I'll explain at the end. And yeah, but let's talk about everything I've been working on. I also have a microphone now, so hoping the sound will be a bit better, but if there are instances of it kind of picking up weird noises, I will do my best to learn how to use this better in the future. So yeah, let's get into my projects. Oh, before we do, I will say one more thing. I was going through a bit of a knitting funk for a while, which is why I really didn't post any of these videos. I really just wasn't making progress, and so I didn't really want to film videos showing the same projects over and over again. But recently I have been knitting more, making more progress, and I have glorious plans for this 4-day weekend. So we'll see how much I actually get done, but hoping to make good progress, so you might get to see some project highlight finished object posts soon. All right, here we go, into the projects. So I'm not sure how good this microphone is. We'll see if it's picking up my husband singing to himself in the garage right now. I can definitely hear it, so I don't know if the microphone is picking it up, but he is in the garage, which is on the other side of those walls there. So we'll see. I think my cat can hear it too because he's going to investigate. But anyway, I'm going to be showing you, I pulled down every whip that I currently have just because it's been a while since I talked about it. I'll breeze over some faster than others, but you might be seeing projects that you've seen before with no additional progress. Again, I don't remember where I was when I last recorded, but without further ado, one whip that I have are my Magnolia socks. So this is sock number 1. Again, I don't know if I showed this to you with sock number 1 being finished. So here we are. So this is one sock. I have not yet finished the second sock, nor have I started, is what I meant to say, the second sock. I wouldn't quite call it second sock syndrome. It's more just sock syndrome in general. This year in particular, I just haven't been big on knitting socks. I've knit 1 million pairs approximately in the past, and I've since just kind of needed a break. And so I cast this sock on when I needed a project ready to go. I didn't want to take time to figure out a whole new project, and I had cast this on during my cast on party, and so it was ready to go. It was easy to pick up, and then at that point I just knit it and finished it. So I don't necessarily have plans for the second right now. It will get knit, but it's hot, it's summer, it's not a huge priority to get the other sock done. But so the yarn is my hand-dyed yarn. This is A Girl and Her Wool on my newest base, my BFL sock base, which is a plump 2-ply fingering weight yarn that is a BFL nylon blend. I'm still having to figure out my gauge and the sizing for knitting with this base. It is thicker than my other sock base, and again, I think it might come out a little big for me, but we'll see how much it grows when it's washed and go from there. I did do my regular pattern, my regular number of stitches. I think I have to look back, and I did size 0 needles. I'm also thinking, and I'll bring this up later, but I just might be becoming even more of a loose knitter than I was before. So we'll see. So this is the Magnolia sock pattern by Helen Stewart of Curious Handmade. This pattern was from Sock Society season 1. And you can see the front of it has a cabley lacy pattern. Oh, and the colorway of my yarn, this is the Golden Hour colorway. So it's just a nice yellowy browny gold color. And it kind of is based on the gold part of my rose gold gradient. And yeah, so I knit the pattern toe up. So technically it's upside down. It is a cuff down pattern. So technically if you knit the sock according to plan, you would start at the cuff and then this design would actually look like that. But that does not bother me. So I did it toe up. Just a regular toe that I always do, a fish lips kiss heel, and then a 2x2 rib. And yeah, that's it. That's that sock. So again, I don't know when you'll see the other sock go on the needles. We'll see. Probably I will cast on during another cast on party, which means that I want to finish up some projects before I do that. So that is project 1. Okay, so the next whip that I have is one that you are so tired of seeing. I'm so tired of talking about it, but I have to say I'm not sick of knitting it at all. So this is my Drakon Fell shawl, and I'm just barely gonna show this. This really has been a great, when I need something easy to work on, oops, some cotton thread. Something easy to work on. It's been there, and it's, especially when you're going through knitting funk, it's really nice to just have something that you can just knit on. And I'm in the middle of the row. But I am on the edging now, so you will not be hearing much more of this. I'm really just gonna hold it up really quickly. You've seen this before. It's Suburban Stitcher single ply yarn. If you wanna know the colors, check out old videos. I've shown it before, but I finished the last garter stitch section and now I'm on the edging. So you can see kind of some slip stitches in there. You won't see too much contrast because these colors do blend in together, which I love. I love how this edging is looking. And I plan on finishing it this weekend. So again, like I said, I have glorious plans for the weekend of lots of knitting and a lot of dyeing. So I'm excited. It's going to be a yarny, fibery weekend, and I'll probably get none of it done, as happens. So again, I'm not going to talk about this one too much, but just wanted to let you know that I actually have been working on it in a lot of ways for a while. This is the main project I was working on, just because, like I said, I was in a funk. I didn't want to deal with knitting not working. I was getting frustrated with, things not going the right way. I think I was worn out after my painting brick shawl. And just the easy knitting was just really great. So made a lot of progress on this. Like I said, it's just about done, and you'll see it next on a Faux Friday post. I'm not going to talk about it any more than that. So that is whip number 2. Okay, so whip number 3 is going to be the last project that you've seen before, mostly. Pretty much the last project you've seen before. One of them you've seen it before, but not, I don't think, as a work in progress. But you'll see what I mean there. So this project, and again, I don't show this every time because it's not the most thrilling, but I figured, again, it's been a while, so I just wanted to show progress on it. This is my northeasterly blanket, and so this is the once popular northeasterly blanket with a lot of scrap yarn. I have it about lap length, and I'm working on the 5th column. I think, so I just finished this color, and I have 2 more colors in the project bag to finish up that column with. And then I will move on to the next one. I definitely need a few more columns just to get the right width of it for it to be a good size blanket. Plus I still have a lot of yarn to use for it. So all of this yarn that I'm using is yarn that I have dyed. So this all came from when I first picked up dyeing. This is not one of my current bases. This is just Knit Picks bare maybe they're stroll or strolling. They sell a lot of undyed yarn and dyes for people to try it out with or do. And so that is what all this yarn is. So instead of, you know, I didn't want to, you know, I wanted to keep all of these for myself. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but so instead of kind of having all those little 5-gram minis, sorry, my cat Pie is meowing. Pie. Not sure why he's meowing so much. It's the middle of the day. I think I do this every time. It's because I'm talking and they feel like they need to join, so I apologize. Bye. You want to be on the show? Here's Bye. Here's my other cat who's not on as much. He's not as fluffy, but he is just as cute as the other. Go lay down. Okay, so again, so these are all, instead of having the 5-gram minis just sitting around, so again, that's what I did. I took the skeins and I wound off little 5-gram minis. He's gonna be naughty. Pie, get down. And so I wound off the skeins into 5-gram minis, and then I just played with dyeing. So I tried different dye techniques, and you can kind of see them all throughout. There's some more stripy, some more speckly, some very colorful, some more tonal. And it was just a lot of fun to learn with. And so I'm making this blanket out of those yarns, and a lot of these colors are early iterations of colorways that are in my shop. So this is an early iteration of Love at First Sight. This is an early iteration of Plotzing. This here is Whisper and Rusty, which you'll probably see in the shop soon. So yeah, that is my northeasterly blanket. I knit on this before bed. So if I'm reading or if I'm just watching something on my phone, I will knit on that a little bit before bed. So this next one is one you've definitely heard about before. It was part of my cast on party, so I cast this on, but I didn't really start knitting it until this past week, I think. So this is my Lta Sweater, and I don't have it on the needles right now because it was so scrunched up. And so in order to take photos of it for my blog and to show you guys, I have it on some cotton thread, so you can see it in all of its glory. So this is the color work, and I've talked a lot about prepping for this sweater a lot. So this is Rauma Phenol Garn. I don't know the colors. The main color is this kind of pink rosy blush color, and then the contrast color I'm using is white. I said it's the Lta Sweater by Jennifer Steingass, and I don't have a picture of the pattern here, but it is a 2-color colorwork sweater, yoke, and then a plain body and plain sweaters. And you see it has kind of a floral design going down the yoke. I'm about halfway through the yoke. And you'll remember for this sweater, I was originally planning to knit one of her other patterns, the Silver Forest sweater, but I couldn't get gauge for it. So I think this is technically a DK weight sweater. And I'm knitting it with the Roma yarn, which is supposedly fingering weight yarn, but I got a gauge of a DK sweater, or a DK gauge. So I was originally planning to, I have 2 other contrast colors, kind of a taupey brown and a kind of like a powdery blue. And I was going to use all 3 colors in this yoke, but once I was knitting it with the white, I just love these 2 colors together. And so I'm going to do the whole yoke with the white. Like I said, I'm about halfway, and I think I'll have enough white, but if not, it's commercial yarn. I can buy another and not worry about, it's also white, so I don't have to worry about, you know, dye lots and that kind of thing. And just do that sweater out of this. I think that blue would make such a great solo sweater by itself. So I'm going to take that blue and probably make like a big comfy cable-y sweater out of it. So I'll probably have to get more yarn for that. And then the brown will either be like the cuffs of that sweater, or I might just, you know, make gloves or something out of the remaining skein. So anyway, this is going to, after all of that work that I was doing of trying to find a new sweater, make it work, I'm just going to be doing the sweater of these two colors, and I'm completely obsessed. I really knit this yoke, I think, in like 2 nights of knitting. It's really, really fun. There aren't really ever too many floats that are too big that you have to catch them. Sometimes there are, but when you don't have to catch the floats, it just goes quickly. And yeah, so I took it off the needles to post on my blog maybe Wednesday. So I haven't been knitting on it because I figured I wanted to record before I put it back on the needle and scrunched it back up. So hoping again this weekend to finish the yoke, at least for this sweater, which will kind of line up perfectly. If I finish my Drakon Fell shawl, then this can become my easy stockinette, knit every round type project. Okay, so the last project you definitely have not seen before. Definitely not. So I recently came out with a brand new gradient. It's my Mountain Springs Lake gradient. It's a beautiful dark blue to brown gradient. And I find that with every single one of my gradients, I've done different styles of dyeing. This one has kind of like a light blue that goes all throughout the gradient on both sides. And then other dark blues at the beginning into the brown. So it's really cool that it has like that consistent blue across all of it. I really, really like it. Mountain Springs Lake is the name of the venue where my husband and I got married, and I released that gradient on our wedding anniversary. So we recently celebrated our 2-year wedding anniversary, and I felt like the name just fit in perfectly with that gradient. I didn't dye it planning to have it named that way, but then once I was getting ready to release it on our anniversary, the name just kind of worked out perfectly. So I also have just the blue, and that 5 skein gradient is Mountain Springs, and then is Springs Lake, and then I also have just the brown section called Mountain Springs. So anyway, I am knitting a project out of that new Mountain Springs Lake gradient, and this is a test knit, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, but I will show it quickly. It's posted on social media, so I think it's fine. But you can see I have done quite a bit of it. It is a rectangular wrap, basically a big scarf, and you can see I've done about 3 colors in there. You can kind of see the 3 gradients there. So I'm just on the blue section. This pattern is a pattern by Pam Grushkin, and it is again a rectangular wrap that just has some texture throughout it, and she knit the design out of my rose gold gradient, and so I wanted to do it definitely out of a different one to show that off as well. It is a great gradient pattern. If you have one of my gradients, or if you've admired one of my gradients, or you have a gradient from someone else, it's just a good pattern. She has the transitions in there to help blend it just that much more. And I will say, I am not able to memorize this pattern. I usually can memorize repeats, and this is one that I have to have next to me. I can't read the knitting on this one. I can't look at it and know which row is next. So that's something about it. So even though it's pretty straightforward, it's not like a travel knit for me. I can't bring it anywhere with me. I have to knit it on the couch with the pattern next to me. So there's that. But maybe I'm just getting older. So anyway, that's the first 3 colors. And then I have all the rest in here. So 4 and 5, and then getting into the brown. So I don't know that I'm holding it in the right order, but this will give you an idea of the rest of the gradient. So you have the browns, and like I said, the browns have that bright blue going through it, which I love. So that's kind of the blue side, and then the rest of the brown side, and then the rest of the blue side. So anyway, I'm hoping I can get halfway through this weekend. Again, I have big plans. So far I've said I'm finishing my Drakon Fell shawl, finishing the yoke of my sweater, and getting halfway through. So I'm just to the end of color, pretty much at the end of color 3. So then just color 4 and color 5 this weekend. Grand plans, we will see. So look for that pattern. I'll definitely post about it when it's published. I think she wants the test knit done in the next few weeks, so I expect it to be released soon after that. There's really no issues with the pattern at all, so I don't expect there to be big problems. So look for that soon. That is it with everything, all of my current whips. That is it. So I've also have done some spinning, which is exciting, and I hope to finish the braid I'm working on soon. So this weekend my goal was to finish the first half of the braid, but again, that list is getting very long, so we will see what happens. I also plan to record another dye with me video, having the microphone, and then I will be able to use my tripod over the pan as much as possible. The steam might mess that up, but I am hoping to get a better view, so look out for my next video as a dye with me video. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to show you guys what I'm dyeing, but I do have plans to do some one-of-a-kind skeins, so you'll kind of see me just playing with color and figuring out what to add to it. So I think that'll be fun. So look out for that. Those are always fun to do. I like doing the dye with me videos, and I hope you enjoy them too. So I also will be doing a cast on party again soon. I want to finish the shawl, the Drakon Fell shawl, and the wrap. So once those are done, I'm gonna do another cast on party, so I'll cast on the other Magnolia socks. I also have a crochet project that I'm excited to start on, and then who knows by then what else I'll come up with. So look for another cast on party coming soon too. And if you have any questions or anything that you want me to talk about during my cast on party, let me know. If you missed the last one, I basically just sit and chat and cast on projects and get them in project bags and get them all ready to go. So when you need to grab a project, you don't have to go through the agony of swatching and picking out which size to do and making sure the balls are wound. Everything is just ready to go. The first few rows are done, and it's really been helpful to me, so I'm definitely going to do it again. So look out for that as well. In terms of shop news, I've kind of talked about this before, but I'm not really doing formal shop updates right now. It's really just I get listings up as they're ready to go. So it just makes it easier for me to get them done, get them up, versus having it at a specific time. So definitely, if you're on Etsy, favorite my shop, and then you'll get notifications when new listings are up. Sometimes I post about it on social media, sometimes I don't. And then during these videos, I'm gonna just do a little recap of what's new in the shop. So what is new in the shop? Like I said, my Mountain Springs Lake gradient is there. That's a 10 skein gradient. It's available currently on my sock and my DK base. And again, you choose the size of the skeins. You also have options to do a 5 skein version, which is just a condensed version. Still goes from the blue to the brown. And for this gradient, I've also split it into 2, so you can get just the blue half or just the brown half. So always a lot of options. And yeah, that is it with that gradient. The other thing that it made me think of is another thing that's new is I have a request a custom listing button. My listings themselves may not, what I've done in the past is had where you went into the listing and you picked the base and the size of the skein. I'm now doing separate listings for each base, and a lot of that has to do with the BFL base. I can only do that in skeins up to 100 grams. And so to just make it easier, every base has its own listing. So if you see a colorway you like, make sure you're doing the right base. You won't select it in there anymore. And I have all the sections laid out. So if you know you're looking for the DK base, you can click on one of the DK sections and then go from there. It's always in the title, and then in the item description, I put what base it is as well. And you can always ask me any questions. So if you don't see a colorway that you like listed either in the base that you want or in the size or size of skein or quantity, just either message me and I can help set up a custom listing, or you can just click on that request a custom listing button. That just helps me manage my inventory a little bit better to just really have listed what I can manage at that time. And then when we set up custom, we can talk about how long it's going to take. Right now I have a 5-day processing time. Custom listings will still go out for right now in that time, but if for some reason I get, a whole bunch of orders in a couple of days, and as things start to open up and I'm traveling, or if I have family over, it just allows me to set a custom date for when I expect to get your order out versus having to stick to Etsy's, set. My rule is 5 days, so every order gets 5 days. So I'm just kind of limiting what I have kind of in stock on the site, and then that way I'm still happy to dye whatever you need. It just helps me manage kind of the demand a little bit. So that goes for the size, the quantity, and the base. As long as you see a colorway listed, we can do it. And if you know of a colorway and you might not see it available, but I dye it, message me, I'll let you know. I have taken, retired some colorways for right now. That gives me a break in it, but you're definitely welcome to ask, and I'll let you know if I'm currently dyeing it or not. So that is that. So what else is new in the shop? So I mentioned the Mountain Springs Lake Gradient a few times now. My summer colorways are still there. So Hello Gorgeous is still there, which is an awesome neutral. Plotzing and Peach Perfect are fun summer colorways. My That Summer colorway, which is an exclusive colorway for the splash pad party, that is up. That is going to come down July 31st. So and it won't be in the shop for the rest of 2020. If I decide to bring it back, it won't be until next summer. But if you like it, grab it now. And again, if you don't see the base quantity or size skein that you want, message me and we'll figure it out. I think for that one I haven't limited what you can order online because it's an exclusive limited colorway. I didn't want to kind of take that away. There's also a mini skein set, so that will come down July 31st. I also have advent calendars. I have 8 Nights of Hanukkah. Those are all listed. And I have my Yarn of the Month Club. So the 1 month July Mystery Yarn Club will come down July 15th. And that day is when August will go up. Similarly, the 3 month club that starts in July will come down on July 15th. And the 3 month club starting in August will go up on July 15th. For the first week or so, those are technically pre-orders. I think the August skeins will start shipping the 24th of July. And after that, once that initial pre-order date goes by, then it just is my standard 5-day processing time. And I'll show you guys what July looks like kind of towards the end of July once all the skeins have gone out. So look for that. Those are all mystery skeins. You won't know what you're getting other than kind of looking at the picture that it's inspired by. And yeah, that's been a lot of fun. I have to figure out October soon because October will be on the August, September, October 3 month club. So I'm excited to do that as well. So that is it. I think that is all that's new in the shop and leaving the shop. Oh, the other thing leaving the shop is my spring rainbow gradient. So if you like that, that's gonna come down. I actually love dyeing that gradient up, but it's a spring themed, and so I'm gonna take it down and I will bring it back next spring. So look for that if you miss it, but definitely grab it now while you still can. And I don't think I've taken anything else down. My other spring colorways were speckled orchid and orange sorbet. So those might come down soon too. Probably orange sorbet is gonna come down in the next few weeks. Speckled orchid, I'm not sure about. I love that colorway too much. I might leave that one up a bit longer. So, so yeah, check those out. And that is it. So thank you for tuning in. I went through a lot of projects this week because it has been a while, and I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to be into my knitting, and yeah, keep staying tuned for fun things. I'm gonna do some dye with me's. I'm gonna do some project highlights, and then the sit and chat and knit together. So definitely subscribe and stay tuned, and make sure you let me know if there's more content you want to see or hear about. And I appreciate you being here. So again, have a great 4th of July. And I'll keep you posted on how productive I am this weekend. All right, bye.